The first question is, can you explain the walk-on process for a college tennis player and how difficult or easy was it? I think there's a lot of misunderstood aspects of being a walk-on. First off, most walk-ons will quit. This is just the unfortunate truth. Whether it's an inability to keep up with the schoolwork, tired of getting pounded at practice with no playing time, or a desire to look for an opportunity to earn a scholarship, most walk-ons will not finish their 4 years of eligibility at the same school. For me personally, I wanted to go to Michigan State, and I grew up in Michigan, and I knew that being a walk-on, whatever my situation was, that I could go to Michigan State because I was being recruited by them. Secondly, you'll probably not have your magic moment televised. If the only real reason you're walking on a team is that you want to have your moment in the sun, you probably will be one of the players that quits. Being a walk-on is about the process, enjoying being a part of a team, practice, and a unique club of college athletes. You're going to spend a lot of time being a college athlete than getting recognized by the fans or media. And I think that is something that a lot of walk-ons don't understand at first. They think that if they just join the team, even if their ability isn't there, that they're not going to have to, that they're automatically going to make it, and they're not going to have to work that hard on the team to be where they want to be. They're going to be in for a really rude awakening. For me personally, I knew going in that I was going to be on more of the bottom of the team, and I didn't mind it. I wanted to accept the challenge and move forward and understand that I'm gonna have to really earn myself and get a lot better on the team, and that's something that I accepted going forward. But I think a lot of walk-ons, maybe a year or two down the road, will realize that they're not getting the respect they really wanted, and if they don't have the right talent, or if the coach isn't accepting them as what they want to be, then they're not going to be at that spot they want to be, and they might quit. Thirdly, know what type of walk-on you want to be. There are two categories of walk-ons. Recruited walk-ons are athletes who have been talking to the coach before college, got help from the coach through the admissions process, and show up at the school knowing they're already on the team. Unrecruited walk-ons are athletes who get into school on their own and through an open tryout to make the team. This is a much riskier way to walk on because there's no guarantee you make the team, and if you don't, you could waste your eligibility. And for me personally, I was a recruited walk-on, so I was already being looked by the Michigan State coach at tournaments a couple of years prior to college, and so I knew that I would have a spot on the team, and that it wouldn't just be a shot in the dark if I wanted just to try to walk on. Um, so that made it a little bit less, I guess, riskier, a little less like nerve-wracking going in, but also seeing the level, like the increased level in the schedule, and what they do each and every day to be a college athlete is a lot of work, and it's very demanding, and that was definitely the toughest part for me personally in my first semester. But it also really made me grow as a player and as an individual and as a team player, and also as a role model for other guys in the team, because luckily I had a really good coaches that helped grow me individually, and they made me mature a lot quicker being a freshman in college than not being on a sports team, which was something that I thought was very unique. And even when school and my schedule got tough with classes and missing a lot of classes for away matches and things like that, I realized that I was part of a special team and a special group of guys, and that's really what made me want to stick out all 4 years of eligibility. And lastly, walk-ons generally they for sure will not be treated like a scholarship athlete. There is like a hierarchy within college teams, spoken or unspoken. First are scholarship athletes, second are recruited walk-ons, and third are unrecruited walk-ons. On every college team, there are politics, and certain athletes will get preference over others, and that's sometimes really hard to deal with. Many walk-ons quit because they feel the coach and scholarship players don't treat them like real team members. This is necessarily true, but it is important to understand that it is a very common feeling for walk-ons to have. For me personally, I think that um, it was tough because in my year there was one uh, player that was recruited and had a scholarship, and there were two recruited walk-ons. And the other recruited walk-on and I were battling a lot, and it was tough because I think he was a little bit quicker than me at first, so we got a little bit quicker looks. And over time, that was hard for me to keep having to go to practice each and every day and be the last guy on the team, and not have as much respect as some of the other guys that were better. And that's really what made me want to stick with sticking on the team, because for me personally, I wanted to prove to not only the coach and the school, because I had a lot of pride playing Michigan State, but mainly to myself, that I could be a part of this team, and that also I could help provide more to the team, and one day be a lineup player in the future, and help the program get wins. And as I progressed through the years, I got I started off as a 12th player on my team, and I played 4 Big Ten matches at the end of the season, and then I was played about relatively the same amount throughout my freshman, sophomore, and junior year, and then my senior year I went 12-0 in doubles and had a great year.